Shawn Meyers now joined by another Shawn Liotta, the head coach of the Burrell Buccaneers, before his team begins the Class 2A playoffs. And first off, Shawn, congrats on getting into the postseason. I know you wanted to go in on a win. That didn't happen, but ultimately getting to the playoffs is an accomplishment. So what does it mean for you and for the players to be back in the postseason?
Well, I'm happy for our players, because obviously they've earned it. There's a lot of teams that would like to be in that aren't in. And, it's the third year in a row we've been in the playoffs as a program. So that's something certainly we're very proud of. And, it says a lot about the hard work that our players put in.
You had some really impressive moments earlier this season. Think back to the win against Sarah Catholic. I know you enter on a 3-game losing streak, but can you think back to some of those impressive performances in particular against Sarah and say, if we play at that level, we can play with anyone in these playoffs?
Oh, there's no question. I mean, you take a look at it. We're tied with Steel Valley. It was 7-7 early. Actually, that Steel Valley game is much closer than the final score. If you watch the film, we had opportunities. We had multiple opportunities inside the 10-yard line late in the first half to make it a one-score game. Going into halftime. In the second half, we had kind of a questionable call on a dual possession interception that gave them the possession of the football. And then the game kind of turned from there at the end. They blocked a punt, returned it, and their running back made some, busted some runs on us late. But that was a battle. That was a close game, there into the second half, and they kind of pulled away. And the same with Imani Christian, Imani's getting a lot of love, but, you forget in the Imani game, they stopped us on the 1-yard line, similar to the Derry game. The Derry game, I'm going to say, quote unquote, we got stopped on the 1-yard line on fourth and goal there in the first half because the quarterback was in there. I don't know what the refs were looking at there, but the Imani game, they did stop us, in the first half there with no time left in the first half. And that was 15-0 at halftime. So you take that, you put those points on the board. Now we're in a one-score game. We had the ball five times inside the red zone against Imani and couldn't score on different drives. So, I mean, you take a few of those, that's a totally different ball game. And the other games we lost in the last couple of weeks, I mean, those are heartbreaker down to the wire. I mean, you look at our losses, we don't have any bad losses. We lost to Jeanette on a last-second field goal. We lost to Derry on a last-second run after we took the lead, with 2 minutes left. We lost to Apollo Ridge in a back-and-forth game where we spotted them, a bunch of points, and then our kids battled back hard in the second half there to give us an opportunity to win the football game. So we don't have any bad losses in my mind. I think we're a very competitive team, and I think we're looking forward to our chances here against Mohawk.
Well, what I saw in person when you played Derry and then based on the box score last week against Apollo Ridge, it does seem like you've thrown the football a little bit more the last couple of weeks with Stevie Hassan. How has that developed? And I know some of that's based on game situation, but do you think that can be a viable weapon for you going into the playoffs?
No, sure. I mean, Stevie can throw a nice football. I mean, Stevie's done a really good job last couple of weeks, and receivers have done a good job getting open and catching the football. And it all, again, like you said, Shawn, it comes down to, how are they going to try to play us? I mean, those teams were committing 11 people to the run. So when they're going to do that, we're going to have to take a shot over the top on them. And I think we hit a 95-yard touchdown pass to Devin Beatty last week. And we've hit a couple other big ones. Against Derry, it was more of the screen game. We hurt Derry on a lot of the little throwback screens and things like that. Certainly Stevie's progressed well. He's done a nice job running the offense. And, like I said, we're looking forward to it. We might be a team you overlook. You don't, on paper, we don't have a lot of, obviously Devin Beatty gets a lot of accolades, and rightly so, a lot of attention, good football player, college football player, in my opinion. But he's going to get a lot of those accolades, but the other guys are kind of guys that go do their work and, do a good job, and excellent football players that you never hear about, much. And you should hear a little bit more about them because they're hard-nosed, tough football kids, what high school football is all about. But we've kind of quietly just went along this season. We've been a pretty consistent team, to be honest with you. I mean, we've lost a couple games there, late, but it's not like we've been, blown out of any games really or anything like that. Other than obviously I said the Steel Valley and Imani, but those were out closer, than those final scores indicated. So I think we're a good football team. I'm looking forward to our opportunity here in the playoffs.
3-4 record out of the Allegheny Conference, 4-6 overall. So you get the 12 seed out of the 14 teams in this Class 2A field. How did that align with what you thought it might be?
Hey, 12, 13, 14, 11, 10, whatever. It don't matter to us. We're going to go up there and I know we're going to practice hard this week. We're going to have a game plan in. Our kids are going to execute the game plan, and we're going to play extremely hard. And if we're able to do that, we're going up there to win the football game. We're not sitting here saying we're just happy to be in the playoffs and, ready to hand our stuff in. We are going up there. The idea is you play these to win them, right? So we're going up there to win the football game. And Mohawk is a good football team, and it's going to be a major challenge for us. And they have dynamic playmakers, and they have a big, strong line and a good quarterback and some good receivers and are well coached. But make no mistake, when we get off that bus, we're coming in there to win the football game.
Mohawk, the number 5 seed, 8-2 in the regular season. The losses were bookended. They lost their first game and they lost their last game of the regular season, albeit just a 1-score loss against Neshannock, which got the number 2 seed. You talked about the quarterback. He's thrown for almost 2,000 yards this year. How do you try to slow him down? What challenges does he present?
Well, the idea is to keep him off the field. So if things go our way, we'll be out there a whole bunch on offense, and they won't be out there too much because that's obviously what we do. And that's why, a lot of people say we're built for upsets, if you call it, in these kind of games, because we will have the ability to possess the football. If we can run the football and possess the football and get first downs and move the ball and, do those kind of things, we're going to, the idea, Shawn, is to get this thing. We're not winning it in the first quarter. We're not winning it in the second quarter. We're going to win this game in the fourth quarter. That's the idea. We got to win this football game in the fourth quarter. So we have to find a way to get the game to the fourth quarter to give us an opportunity, and that's the way we are every week. I'll be honest. That is our game plan every single week. We want to get the game into the fourth quarter. All right. With an opportunity to win the football game. That's no different here. We want to try to reduce their opportunities. They have playmakers, man. I mean, they got this receiver Fadden. He's making catches all over the place. They have another receiver that's really good. And line is physical. Running back runs hard. They're good. They play in that Beaver County League, that MAC conference. That MAC conference that's the real deal. We played Neshannock last year, so we have the unique. We played the neighbors up there, last week, and last year in the first round. Now we're going to get these guys, and so we're familiar with the trip. Our bus driver should know the way, and our schedule's all the same. We're going to eat the same team meal, and at Rudy's Table there in Lower Burrell. So if you're in Lower Burrell, go support Rudy's Table. Excellent food. They'll be feeding our team before the game. Come out and check them out. They employ several of our players as well. So great people. And, we're glad to have our team meal there before we leave. And, but we'll know the way up there, and, it's a long way. And hopefully for us, it's a fun trip back home.
Lastly, playoffs are special. Just being in is an accomplishment. Obviously, you want to do more than just be in the playoffs. But what do you tell the players, many of whom might be taking the field for the first time in postseason action, to make sure that they have the right mindset going in?
Yeah, most of our guys, like I said, we're unique. We've been in the playoffs now 3 years in a row. So this is not something new for our guys, and there's not a lot of programs that can say that, and we're very proud of that. Like I said, when I got to Burrell 6 years ago, they hadn't been in the playoffs in a long, long time, and another statistic that was brought up, and I know more teams make it and things like that now, but Burrell hadn't been in the playoffs 3 years in a row in like 21 years or something like that. So again, it's something we're proud of. It's something our kids have been a part of. So no one's going up there. We're not in awe of the playoffs, and we're not in awe of Mohawk. They're a good football team, but we're here to compete, and we plan to win Friday night.
Well, Shawn, thank you so much for doing this as always. I enjoyed talking to you each and every time, and good luck on Friday.
Thank you so much.